not working today. You know how I always check the sound and you think, well, why does he always do that? It's, he always working today. You know how I always check the sound and it doesn't work every day. I was editing a video yesterday that I didn't want sound on it because, they check the tunes you play in the background. Anyway, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglash for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. And here we go. We look like pretty good today. And look at that Christmas tree. Look at that Christmas tree. Isn't it cute? Yeah. Anyway, let's get over to 10 at 10. Let's get over to, and don't forget, whatever the date is, it says below under the screen going by there. See that? Isn't that cute? So you go over to wdma.org and you can register, and we have a great time. And Mary from Minnesota says, these meetings are gold. She said she's done 6-figure projects because of the people she's met on here. Not that that's all we do is talk business. We've got a special trivia, Christmas trivia, let's call it Christmas advertising trivia contest. With some really good questions. The Style Consultant is putting it together. And there's even a prize, if we can get that together in time. But I think we can. There's even a prize. And so the personal memento from me. So get over to WDMA and subscribe and send us a ticket for this thing, which has the Zoom links and all that other stuff. But you don't have to join to be invited. You can come if you want. I mean, it's kind of creepy of you, but no, it's okay. We let you. Anyway, let's look at this really good ad from the Salvation Army, a holiday tribute to the families we serve.
When they're afraid of eviction, but not of hard work, they keep it going. When cupboards are empty, but wish lists are full, they keep it going. Your monthly donations through the pandemic have helped rescue Christmas for families in need. But now more than ever, we need your help to keep it going. When you give $25 a month, you help families stay in their homes. Thanks to you, hope marches on.
There you go. Oops, I missed the pause button. Anyway, it's a really good message. I can't get it. Just can't get it to stay over here. YouTube's a slippery little devil. That's almost it. There you go. You need a longer tagline in your commercial. Anyway, there's an article, nice article will be in the show notes, always available every day over at wdma.org. You can get all the articles that I talk about. This is by Hyperworld. From my friend Ask over at Adland TV. She always has some great features. It's a really, really great site. Anyway, it's a tribute to the families the Salvation Army serves. It was shot on location with actual people that are working with the Salvation Army, and shot on location in Chicago. To reveal the magic moments. Okay, so it was really good, and so anyway, you should check that out. Black Friday numbers. Okay, why the Black Friday numbers are a little bit gray, and here it shows, this has been the growth since 2016. Now remember, Cyber Monday or that kind of stuff wasn't, online sales wasn't even measured until 2009. Okay, so it's not surprising it's been growth. It's another one of the sort of the cherry picking lies. But notice this year it's actually it's just slightly down, right? Just slightly down. This is Black Friday sales. The orange and the white is Cyber Monday sales, and both of them were just slightly down. Now, retail sales were up quite a bit. I don't know. I was looking for the number. We'll keep on this, but I just wanted to show you. I think it's really funny in this article. I'm not sure where this one was from. This was from Adobe Analytics. But on this article, it says, but if you look from November 1st through Cyber Monday, consumers spent $109 billion online, which is up almost 12% from 2020. So, and if you notice, there were 100 and up the out of stock messages online were up 170%. So it's not our fault that we don't have any inventory, and it's not our fault that people shopped earlier. Okay, yeah, that's great. I've been in this business for 40 years, and you need to have the inventory. And you, unlike other businesses, can dynamically change your site and don't have to offer stuff that's out of stock. I was talking with my kids, explaining that when somebody checks an item, like on Land's End, if you bring up an item on your screen, don't even have to put it in your shopping cart, and that's the last one of that item, they will freeze that item. They will say no more of that. No one else will see any stock. Okay, even if they're going to buy, and even if you don't buy. Okay, when you close out your session, they'll release it again if you don't put it in your cart. But they won't. They don't want to have two people both buying the same item. That's the way a real system works. It's the way a good system works. I don't know how your system works, but there's just no excuse for this 170 out of stock messages. You shouldn't be waiting until the consumer gets through the process to tell them, oh, gee, sorry, we don't have that one. Get it off your site. Take it down. That's, cataloging, we're stuck if we don't have enough. That's why it's very, very, very important to have robust inventory projection. And I did that for a few years for a few clients too. It's hard, but it's possible. Sounds like the .comers are the immature little crybabies that we've always thought, which that's what I think. Anyway, but here's the really telling graph. And this was from a really long article that basically had terrible graphs mostly. But they got this one from Adobe Analytics. So I'll put this one up on the site. Look at this. U.S. consumer spending, 33.9 billion, down from 34 billion. But look at this. This is the growth. Here, growth has been consistently, whatever these, it runs over, here's 25%, so it must be about 20%. Year over year, okay, growth 20% per year. Zoop. Now look down. I had a friend, what was his name? Victor Shue, I think it was. And he was a professor of chemistry at Washington University, and he decided he wasn't making enough money. And he on his way to driving to school one day, he invented, you remember, this is a prayer bracelet, but it kind of looks like. He invented a plastic bracelet of multicolors and sold millions and millions and millions of them, little inexpensive bracelets, and they got to be really popular. I think Madonna would have like just hundreds on each arm, and that was one of his inventions. He had lots of them that he marketed, and what he did was he took the sale, he watched the sales. It would start slow, and then it would go up like this, and as soon as it started to go like this, he would get out of it. Because what would happen is all kinds of competitors would come in and the market would be flooded. I remember going to a little dumpy gas station by my house. It's not there anymore, but dumpy little gas station, and they had the O-ring bracelets for pennies or whatever on the counter. And he said, this is a very, very smart guy, professor of chemistry or something. And he said, I stay in it while it's growing and then I get out. So my advice to you guys is maybe it's time to get out of digital. You're not going to hear that anywhere else. Okay, let's get over here. Now, this was a really good article from Adweek, okay? Jake McKenzie. I don't think it's from the performance section of Adweek, but they wanted to do an interview with me on direct mail, of all things. Can you imagine? But anyway, CMOs should watch for these cognitive biases. What a great thing to watch out for. Okay, the average tenure of a CMO is dropping to 40 months. So you better guess right and you better guess fast. Okay, but there are a lot of cognitive biases. This one is definitely the worst. Okay, I've done some talks on JCPenney when they hired the guy from Apple, and he came in and he decided he was going to make pennies trendy for gays. Which, okay, that's a market, if you read The Tipping Point, Hush Puppies got resurrected by a couple of gay guys in Greenwich Village. So it's a thing, okay? I was questioning at the time, and I did some articles on it, that that the gay market would gravitate to JCPenney because, now I just got this new fleece from not Land's End. The turtleneck is Land's End. I'm loyal, but they didn't have my purple that I wanted, and so I bought two from this other company. They're not as nice as Land's End, but they're a little softer. But anyway, so you asked me, where did I get this? I don't even know where I got it. Where did you get that nice new fleece? I don't know. But can you imagine, I got it at Jacques Penet. That's what my mother used to call it. Jacques Penet's. Where's that? I never heard of it. Oh, it's JCPenney. I just call it that to sound sophisticated. Anyway, so I never thought that it made sense. But even if it made sense, a huge percentage of their market was people who stay, who go buy something, a new washing machine, and then buy a couple of shirts for dad and a couple of pairs of pants for little Johnny, and a new dress for Sally or something. And it was a family-oriented store, and family-oriented organizations got just livid about it. And this guy from Apple just kept going, and hiring spokespeople and just really, really in your face. No testing, and I researched it a lot because Penny's lost like $4 billion in sales. And what they said about this guy was he didn't listen to anybody. He didn't ask anybody's opinion. He said it was like everyone thinks like we do. If there was one thing that did it in, it was just not listening to anybody. Okay, so I was once in a meeting of marketing executives for a major auto manufacturer about a coming digital marketing initiative. I just wonder why they put this in there, digital all the time. And some of the leadership had very strong opinions that didn't align with consumer research. So one of the executives asked out loud, when was the last time you shopped for a new car? As it turns out, none of the executives have ever shopped for a new car. It was part of an employment perk, right? You get a car. You work here, you get a car. That shut them up, and they started to actually listen to the presentation. Start every marketing session, especially if you tack in digital right here. Let's put that in, digital. Those are the people that need the humility, I'll tell you that. That's where digital belongs, not up there. Start every digital marketing session with humility that your growth is now, okay? And people are wising up to you, I have to tell you. Okay, here's another one, commitment bias. If you get people to pick an answer, even if it's a 50-50 coin toss where you can't predict the future, they will defend that answer. And that's what my experience in ad meetings was that the ad community didn't want data. They didn't want testing because testing ruins this whole process. That's what I always say when somebody says to me, well, what do you think if we do, what do you think if we would go after a younger crowd with digital marketing and maybe stop mailing our catalog? I'd say, you know what? What I would do is stop mailing 10%. Cut out 10% in a very careful way. Do what's called a holdout test. And we'll see if those people do as well not getting a catalog as the people who get the catalog. Really? Yeah, you can do that. I don't say they're wrong. I don't say somebody's wrong to think digital is magic muffins that suddenly make everybody money. If you think that, you might be right. There might be a context where it makes sense. Okay, but I've just seen over the years, over and over and over, I've been fighting this for 25 years. I've seen consistently the customers are far less loyal, far lower lifetime value, and the supposed gains are ethereal. Okay, so but once somebody offers an opinion, they're rooting for their opinion. So if you're a leader, hold back your opinion or say, is there a way we can test that? That'll shut a lot of people up. Consistency bias. Change is scary. Boy, that's true. How did I get into this live streaming? I don't know. Change implies that prior decisions have been wrong. Yeah, that's true. Oh man, Marcy, thanks for the nice message. Yeah, Target Target. Yes, I remember Target and Jacques Penet. Those are my mom's two favorite stores. uh, yeah, I remember Esso, and I remember a lot of things. I remember Dino the dinosaur. That's what people say about me. Anyway, many years after building a successful brand, eBay found out that it couldn't run its search campaigns. It's basically was based on paid search. Now, paid search is like you type in, I don't know what, animal crackers, or or Dino the dinosaur on Google, and it'll say Dino the dinosaur collectibles are available on eBay or something like that. Now, eBay paid for that. Well, they couldn't run that search campaign for a couple days for some reason. It pooped out. And the company's sales didn't change at all. That's because people like me who've been there since the mid 90s like eBay. Great pay podcast. Yeah, share it with your friends. I don't know how to do that, but when it ends, you can hit share somehow and send it to your friends. A share is worth like 20 likes. I heard that somewhere. Anyway, we do this every day. We do this crazy stuff, and you can even send me messages in the middle of it. In his book, I love this book, Thinking Fast and Slow, David Kahneman, he says, here's the cognitive bias. What you see is all there is. And he says lower funnel performance marketing is highly trackable. But if you do lifetime value tracking, the way I do it, EBITDA tracking, year over year, 5-year window, you'll find out whether brand building works better or bottom line performance works better. You can actually figure that out. It'd be tricky. We'd have to talk. But companies have neglected, because, what they want to do is they want to run a special. I did a talk on testing once at the DMA in 1987, right after the market crashed. I happen to remember that. It was very poignant or something. I did a talk on testing, and I was up with a guy from Southwest Bell, I think. And he got up and he said, well, I did this. Then the next year I did this. And this were the results. And the next year I did this, and this were the results. And the next year I did this, and this were the results. Not one valid test in the whole batch, That's like comparing golfers from the 60s to golfers now. Who was better? You don't know. You'll never know, right? Or baseball players. We were looking at batting champions and Hornsby. I forget his name. Homer Hornsby, something. Roger Hornsby, I think it was. He won the batting titles with 400 batting 400 plus. Imagine being the second guy who batted 375, which would have won almost any year since, and he didn't win. He got second. A couple of guys did that. Anyway, so you can't compare across time like that. You got to head to head. But you can look at long-term trends within customer segments acquired by different methodologies. So you can look at customers that came in through brand building, majority brand building, versus ones who didn't. You could even do a long-term test of brand building covers versus sale covers, right? Anyway, consumer commitment bias. It's one that we think consumers care. Don't lean too heavily on consumer research. Customers first make decisions, then rationalize those decisions after the fact, right? And customers don't know what they're going to do next. Neither do you. So don't tell me that digital can predict what I'm going to buy. Okay. The Intermark group did a test of colas where both colas were from the same bottle. And nearly every subject, when told that all the cola was from the same bottle, insisted the sodas were different. I saw a sommelier test like that. And one of the sommeliers got so mad they walked out. because he was either convinced of his own palate or he was just mad. Consumers often don't have insight into their own decision making. Boy, is that ever true. Okay, so these are all great suggestions, but I think the first one is definitely the best. Everyone thinks like we do. The style consultant keeps telling me, don't think that people think like you do. Nobody thinks like you do. Have a great day. Merry Christmas. Get over to wdma.org, and up in the upper corner, there's a little button to register for this. You know, this one will be a Zoom call, so it won't be on the public airwaves like this one is. But in spite of all that, get over there, register. We have a lot of fun, and like I said, there's a prize, and share so your friends can come. Have a great